flying out to an oil rig, or being in air traffic control, or you know, meeting Obama, or just things that I will like remember. Like, I really do cherish them. I appreciate that I've got a lot of privilege which comes with my job, and so that's the thing I enjoy the most, is getting to see things. And then also all the people you meet. I just think it's mad that all of the people that I've met in my life, and who they've become as well. So people that earlier on in the career who I'm now seeing flourish and get higher up in companies and things like that. I think that's really exciting about my job too. Anything? I don't think it has yet. The moment I realised was actually this year, and it was when my trail for that show with Alex Jones went out on BBC One, and that was the moment I realised, oh my God, I'm actually a TV presenter, because I saw it kept popping up everywhere, so in between like EastEnders and something else, and because I've always been news, I've never thought of myself as a presenter. I've always thought of myself as a journalist, and I still do, but people who never knew me for being on Breakfast or didn't know who I was were suddenly recognising me for being on Shotwell with Alex, so that was different, because they were like, oh, you're the presenter of Shotwell for Less, and I was like, wow. And seeing the advert go out on TV, because it was going out like in fact I think it did a lot of people's heads in. People were like, my dad was like, have you got a new show, because I haven't seen the advert 40 times this evening. So yeah, I think it was that. And the reason I went from being a behind the scenes to a presenter 5 years ago. So it's yeah, it doesn't feel that long. I feel like I've been doing it for about a year. So it still feels like quite new to me and everything. But it's brilliant. Be somebody else. It's funny now, because I get people who are trying to be like me to do my job, and I keep saying to them, you're not me though, so you be you, because you'll do something else that's much better than me in your own way, so don't feel like you have to be. Because that's the mistake I made at the very beginning, was I thought I have to be a BBC person. And actually, you're you before you're the BBC person. And often I'm one of the most recognisable of our team because of being like my accent and everything else. They're like, oh, it's Steph. And they forget some of the others because they're all quite similar. Yeah. Well, that's a good one. I've always been dead ambitious. So before I was a presenter, I always thought I want to climb the ladder and become like the boss of the BBC. So I actually decided when I was about 24 that I wanted to be the Director General of the BBC one day, because I was like, why the hell can't I be? And I always kind of had that view in my head. Now I'm a presenter, it's really weird, because now I probably couldn't be the Director General, because I've done things like, you know, dressed in a bee costume on TV, so people couldn't take me seriously in some respects as a Director General. But I really like doing stuff in education, so I quite like doing, I do a lot of mentoring up here in the North East, and careers events and things. I really like doing that, and I'd like to do more of that. Like, I'd like to set up more career stuff for young people, and I think I'm in a really lucky position that I can talk to government and talk to businesses and talk to like people like you to work out how we can solve that problem of the skills gap and careers and things, and I get a lot out of that. I get a lot out of actually helping young people in jobs, because I had that help when I was young, and I think it's really important. So there's that side of things I want to do around education, and I quite like just presenting different programmes. So obviously I've got the next series of Shotwell coming out. I really love doing Breakfast because it's a right laugh, and you know, the kids TV show might come up again. There's another show that I'm doing which is I can't tell you about, it's being announced soon, and it's not Strictly, unfortunately, this year. I'd like to do Strictly.